conversation.
Excuse me, Mr. Lewis. I have a few questions I need to ask before I sign this contract. Can you help me clear up a few things? There are some important points that seem to be missing.
Sure. It is necessary to know what we are agreeing to before we sign anything. So what seems to be the problem?
Well, I just want to know if one party fails to do what it has agreed to do, will there be any penalties imposed?
Of course there are. It says here that if one side fails to uphold the contract, the other side may seek compensation. Number 1. What is this conversation about? Number 2. What does the woman want to know? Number 3. What is true about the contract?
Listening 2.3, Short Talk 1.
Attention, everybody. I have an important announcement to make. In a meeting with the other managers yesterday, we came to the conclusion that we must do everything to increase our sales this year. It is a known fact that a strong sales team is the force behind any successful company, especially companies like us. What good is a great product if the salespeople do not roll up their sleeves and sell it? Therefore, we have decided to do something to help you get the sales you want. From now to the end of the year, you will be going to the head office for a week at the beginning of every quarter to get the proper training you need to improve your sales performance. You will be trained by the top sales experts in the industry to get the skills you need, and I believe that will make all the difference. We are hoping that by December of this year, we will be able to reach the goal we set for ourselves at the beginning of this year. Number 1. What will the company do to improve their sales? Number 2. How often will the training sessions be held? Number 3. When do they hope to obtain their sales target?
Listening 2.4, Short Talk 2.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome all of you to today's workshop. Before we start, I would like to remind you that we are going to be very busy for the next 3 days, and I hope everyone will have something new and useful to take away to improve your performance in negotiating international contracts. Over the next 3 days, we will be working on international business communications, and we'll be focusing on effective communication with business people in Asia, especially those who come from Japan, India, and China. Some of you think you already know how to communicate effectively in whatever situation you are in, but I know for sure everyone will be surprised by something we learn over the next few days. Lee Kim, an expert on international business communication, will be our keynote speaker and trainer in this workshop. Ms. Kim has more than 15 years' experience in international business and has worked in various cities, including Beijing, Jakarta, Adelaide, Seoul, and Hiroshima, just to name a few. She is now working for ADC Corporation, a leading consulting firm located in Tokyo. Number 1. Who is most likely the audience of this speech? Number 2. What is the subject of the workshop? Number 3. According to the talk, what is true about Lee Kim?
You are listening to SmartComm's TOEIC theme-based learning program. All rights reserved. Theme number 3, Technical Areas. Listening 3.1 Introduction to the Theme. This theme is often related to both the housing and the manufacturing themes. In addition to the terms described in the previous themes, technical areas will include references to laboratories, technical personnel, specialized equipment, some specifications, computers, electronics, and technology. More than likely, the majority of technical issues will be about company computer systems and often about the need to resolve problems with software and hardware. Common vocabulary: scientist, lab technician, flask, test tube, research, hazard, programmer, malfunction, glitch, microscope, crash to describe a computer that stops functioning, virus, antivirus, applications, not related to the verb applying for a job, but a noun also known as apps, and other words in the newer versions of the TOEIC test that reflect current and common terminology like platform, support meaning compatible, scan, purge, reboot. Listening 3.2 Conversation.
This computer is driving me crazy. The programs run really fast, but when I first started, it seems to take forever before it's actually ready and I can use it. Do you think it's been affected with a virus or something?
Of course it's fast. It has the latest operating system available. You aren't online, so it's not a virus. Maybe the reason is that there are too many background programs loading when you start. That slows it down a lot.
I'm not sure I know what you mean by background programs and loading. I'm not so good at these things. I know how to use a word processing program and do email, and that's it.
Okay, why don't I have a look? I'm no expert either, but I hope I can help you figure it out. Number 1. What is the woman's problem? Number 2. What does the man say about the woman's computer? Number 3. What does the man offer to do?
Listening 3.3 Short Talk 1.
Thank you for calling the Big Apple Computers Maintenance Hotline. We value your call. Unfortunately, all of our operators are busy at the moment with other calls. Because your call is 15th in line, you may have to wait as long as 10 minutes for your turn. Please press 1 if you wish to stay on the line and wait for the next available operator. Press 2 to leave a message for the operator with a description of your problem, your computer model number, and your customer account number. Your message will be replied to within the next 2 hours. Press 3 to have this message repeated in Chinese. Press 4 to have this message repeated in Japanese. Press 5 to have this message repeated in Korean. Thank you. Number 1. Who is this message aimed at? Number 2. What will happen if you press 2? Number 3. In which language is this message available, besides English?
Listening 3.4 Short Talk 2.
Attention, everybody. As you all know, a lot of our computers in the office have been breaking down recently. So we decided that now is a good time to get rid of these computers. Tomorrow morning, the technicians will be here to replace the entire computer system with the latest models to make it easier for you to do your jobs. However, we need to make sure that we don't lose any important data during the process. Therefore, you are required to strictly follow the following procedures. First of all, you must locate your important data in your computer and then transfer them to the central computer. This is pretty simple. All you need to do is to open the central computer folder on your desktop, create a subfolder under your name within the main folder, and then transfer all your files into that new subfolder. These folders will not be lost when the computers are replaced. Second of all, just in case of a central computer failure, you are also asked to back up those files by copying them from your computer to the hard disk that we have here. It is essential that each and every one of you attempt to do both in order to preserve the integrity of all data. Number 1. What are these instructions about? Number 2. What are the listeners asked to do? Number 3. Why would the listeners need to use the hard disk?